Hey guys, this is Daniel and welcome to part 21 of the character modeling tutorial. Let's continue with our work. Now we're going to work on these two parts of hair. Yeah, and the way I do that is I start with a circular object. Let's set the resolution to something we can work with. Let's say something around 16 maybe. Or actually I think you should be able to divide it by 3. You'll see why soon. So let's take 18. Then center it with Alt-G. Alt-G to center it and use the mirror modifier. And then go to edit mode and start editing it. Of course, activate this again so we can see this mirrored version properly. And then start working with it. So, first thing we want to do is to make this basically projected onto the mesh from here. So first of all, just make it hover above it, just like that. Then use the snapping tools to snap one after another to the surface. Just like that. After, you have to do it individually because I don't think it's possible to make all of them at the same time. If you select multiple, the distances relative to each other will stay the same. They will just snap the position of the entire group to the surface. So the way you want to do it is probably this one here. Okay, and now once we have that done, let's extrude this and rotate it. And here we'll start with the profile that we want to use for the hair. So I would like to have something like this. To more or less be the profile of the first part of the hair. And you see the reason why I wanted it to be a multiple of 3 when we create a circle is because we have here 3 of these, and those could have now an even amount of vertices, and yeah, that would make it probably a bit more accurate. Anyway, so we have that done. Now let's add a subdivision surface modifier just so we know what we're doing, and set the shading to smooth, and then extrude that again. Now here we want to start rotating it a little bit, so we'll give it a little spin here, and that will give it an interesting look. So over here we'll scale it a bit down though, here as well, and just make sure it looks nice from all angles, because yeah, it's an object that should be affected by gravity, and we don't want it to look like something different. Okay, until here there won't be too many changes, so let's just make this spin more. Now there's one thing you want to be careful about. So you see, when you spin that, here in the middle we'll lose some volume. As you see here, now the entire volume is gone. So to prevent that, you have to make steps rather close with just a very low amount of spin. If you want to have lots of spin in a short amount of way, you have to make a loop, move it to the entire way to a place, and then just move it. Do not use edge slide, because then you will again lose it. And then once you have that done, you can adjust them a little bit like that. And yeah, that looks good to me. Now of course we want to have more variation in the hair, especially later on. So what we're going to do now is we're going to separate one of those 3 strands from the main part and bring it back in later on. So the way I'm going to do that is, first of all, let's extrude one more time, just a short amount, of way, just as to secure the upper part so that we won't interfere with it anymore. Then let's close up the part that we want to, well, separate. Then select just this and extrude it like that. Do the same thing with this here, and there you go. Now we've separated the two. And basically, even though they're separated, we still want to continue the flow of the object. So even here, give it a little spin, and here as well, and then make it have such a step as here. It should just be yeah, reasonable physically, I guess, at least to a certain extent. Now once you're done with that, let's do one more. We want to merge those together again in a very similar way. Simply find those same two vertices again and basically merge them. And then select the entire thing except this one edge and extrude again. And there you go, that gave us a bit of a variation. The only thing I want to do now is to use proportional editing to scale this entire thing up, but I will lock it along the X and Y axis only, so that I won't change the height of things. And then because we kind of magnified this noise, everything is very rough right now, so let's fix that as well and make everything smooth again. Also the shading, as you see here, we had some flat ones. Now for now you don't have to worry about hard edges. You know, it would be nice if we had some, but we'll take care of that later on. Actually, I think we should also select this entire lower part and give it a little bit of spin, because we kind of stopped doing that, which looked a bit unnatural. Okay, let's do this one again. It didn't look so good, and that's fine. Now from here on there will be even more of these kind of tricks to make it make the hair look good. We'll have to separate in a few strands and yeah, basically work on the tips, and these kind of things we'll fix later on to make it, you know, more sharp like this. That will give it some a cool structure, but we can only do that once we're done. So this was just a little preview. I'll undo it again. Is it done now? Yeah, that's good, I think. Okay, let's continue down here. So basically we want to make it reach down here and then split up into various parts. So to begin with, let's just do yet another extrusion. Make sure it doesn't collide with the cloth. So, and splitting should happen around here, I think. We still will have to turn it further because we cannot just for no reason stop that at this point. And because we spin it quite a bit, let's do the same thing I talked about earlier, like this, to preserve the volume. And that should be alright. Actually, I think this strand should have stayed separated for one step longer, so I simply fixed it by ripping it apart with the V shortcut. And here's still a big step that we don't want to have here as well. So yeah, these are the kind of things that we want to find and correct if you find them. You can also try using the smooth tool. However, there are some situations where it will not look so good. However, it did quite well here. So let's leave it like this. Okay. Now let's see. Okay, let's take just again yet another strand. Oh, you know what? I think that's I think that is enough for this part. I don't want to do too much within just one day, so you can keep up with all this. I mean, I guess you're yourself quite busy, or at least most of you, and as long as you don't have your own project you're really passionate about, I guess you don't want to spend too much time on it. So I thought in general about this tutorial that this is more like something you could do every day for 10 minutes, just to, you know, learn a bit more and see how other people work. You don't even need to necessarily follow this along. Just watching it and viewing it, I think, is enough to learn quite a bit about modeling. Yeah, so anyways, I hope this helped for today. Tomorrow we'll continue with the tips and finish this part off. And yeah, a few details still left to do, but soon we will be finished with this project. And I think everything looks quite good so far, and I'll be looking forward to continue working on this. See you next time. Bye bye.